Hello, YouTube. So not too long ago, I put out an Instagram post that it blew up, and it's all about, and what the Instagram quote and post said is, the constant need for healing is a fear of being healed. The constant need for healing is a fear of being healed. So I'm not sure if you knew, if you haven't read this, but you can actually have a fear of feeling good. You can actually have a fear of being happy, of things going well for you, that you will reject and ignore and miss and really resist feeling good. It sounds weird, but it's more common than you think. So if you want to understand this, where it comes from, how it manifests, how it shows up, and join me in a little breakthrough session so you can get through this on your own, then this is your episode. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, all the fun things. All right, y'all, let's go. Did you know that it is possible to have a fear of being healed? There is such a thing as a fear of feeling good, that you can actually resist and repel and reject the feeling of feeling good. Not just here and there, but actually systemically, foundationally, in your soul type of happiness, joy, and fulfillment. And that is what we're going to talk about today. I had a post, an Instagram post, do really well, my most organically well-received post. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, is really the fear of feeling good and the fear of being healed. And it's actually more common than you think. A lot of us have it. Probably a lot, I dare say most of us have it, including myself. And it's always just a continue unlayering, going through the layers and revealing of what we're feeling and what that fear is revealing to us. None of this is bad. So if you have this fear, first, congrats on being here. I knew that this would be a great conversation by the response of this, and people asked me to talk about it more. So here we are diving into it. If you're here, this is the first step. You're already diving into it in a way that, a lot of people don't. So for real, be stoked that you already are here with me doing the work. It's definitely more common than you think. And we're always going to be learning more and becoming more ourselves. That's what really self-help, spiritual work, whatever this is that you label it as, it's just becoming more you. I call it a remembering. I'm remembering who I am more and more each day, and I will continue to do that each year, every day. And I always want to look back at my old self a year from now, 5 years, a decade, whatever the timeline is, and just be like, damn, I am different. I have evolved. And these ideas that I used to have, I've built on them and I've expanded on them. So that is why we're here. And just so everyone knows, I love the messages that I've been getting about how a lot of you are directly applying the techniques and processes I go through in these episodes. And it means a lot to me personally, but also it's just cool to see that it's working, for my purpose and for the collective purpose. That's the ultimate plan and purpose. The focus is to provide the tools and the perspective for you to empower yourself, to guide yourself. And so I've received so many beautiful messages, people that I had no idea were listening, in the US or across the world. And they're sharing me these stories of how they are going step by step with me. They're asking themselves the questions, whether it's in the podcast, the breakthrough sessions. If you haven't heard those, I have a couple breakthrough sessions, and I will do more in the future with whether they were podcast hosts. I think all of them were podcast hosts at this point, and just organically we got into their own things to help them with a breakthrough. And going through those episodes will help you greatly because they've already helped other people immensely. And so props to you, to everyone that is listening and implementing and being here. The wisdom you need to break free and limiting beliefs is already inside you, and that's what you are remembering is ooh, this is the truth of who I am. I don't need to be fixed or anything like that. So thank you for being here. Keep practicing. You are doing awesome. If you haven't already, please, if you're watching on YouTube, hello, I'm waving at you. Thank you. So you can watch these you can watch these if that's your vibe. You can watch these on YouTube, or you can listen on Spotify, on Apple, whatever it is. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, leave a comment, or leave a review, because when you do that, it actually helps this get recommended and seen by people who are on the same path as you. So yeah, it's cool to see the numbers, whatever, but really it's in service, it's in benefit to the other people like you. So only do it if you feel called to do it, right? Like if you love this episode, if you've loved the podcast in general, and you want more people to see it, of course you can share it with friends, recommend it to your peeps and your family, to your peers. And also, like, leaving a review helps it get recommended to people. And I've had people reach out to me saying, oh, I just saw that your podcast was recommended, or it just popped up for me and I listened and I love it. So thank you to those who have left a review and are sharing it with friends and reciprocating this energy. Thank you. Thank you. So let's begin this episode by reading the Instagram post that got so much attention, and then I will expand on this fear. Cool. So what the graphic was, because you know how you can put like quotes into graphics and post them on Instagram. The quote was, feeling the need, and need is underlined, feeling the need for constant healing is a fear of being healed. Feeling the need for constant healing is a fear of being healed. And the caption reads as follows. Did you know that it's possible to have a fear of feeling good? It's more common than you think. If you have a history of chaos, drama, and suffering on any level, then it becomes your baseline. That's what your brain and body perceives as normal. Your subconscious is now wired to believe that those things are what feel quote unquote good and comfortable to you. So what happens when you actually start to feel good? You perceive it as a threat. Your body tenses up and senses it as if something is wrong. An example of this is when you finally get that amazing relationship, the one that isn't chaotic, the one that is peaceful and easy. If you have a belief that love is chaotic, many people do, then you will abandon or reject the relationship because it isn't what you believe to be true love. This also happens with physical health. And side note, I had a lot of people with chronic illness respond to this, that this is true for them. If someone has a chronic illness for years, that is now their baseline. Being sick becomes the normal. So being healed/healthy doesn't feel right, comfortable, or possible. It sounds crazy, but you have to reprogram and remember that thriving in health, wealth, and love is normal. Not just normal, but expected. Here are some questions to ask yourself. Do I expect myself to be healthy, successful, and surrounded by love? Am I comfortable with stillness and peace? Can I enjoy them? When something good happens, how often do I worry about it going away? Reflect on your responses to these prompts. They reveal how comfortable you are with feeling good. It's important to know that nothing, absolutely nothing, is wrong with you for what you currently believe to be true. It's also important to know that you are deserving, absolutely, unequivocally deserving of health, love, and success. There's nothing you need to do to be worthy of feeling good. Because you have a body, soul, and life on this planet, it's already yours. Boom. That is the caption, and rereading that. Oof, that's good. That's powerful. And that came through me. Okay, so that's what we're talking about in a nutshell. So let's go deeper. How this manifests in present day is by not being able to enjoy peace. The simple thing, like the simple way to know that if you have a fear of actually being healed or actually feeling good, like as your default setting, as your normal, is if you're not able to enjoy them. If you're not able to enjoy peace, if you're not able to enjoy feeling good, if you're always looking for the next thing to heal, like you can't enjoy the thing that you just made progress on. A lot of this, stems from successful people, including myself, being able to enjoy our wins. You are always looking for something to heal. You're waiting for that one ceremony, that one mentor, that one book, that one event, that one podcast that is finally going to change your life. You keep looking to be healed, but subconsciously, you don't believe that you can actually be healed. It's an interesting thing. Like you keep looking for these things, to quote unquote fix you, but really deep down, you don't believe that you can be fixed. And that's why you're looking for the things to fix you. So then you can prove that you're not fixable and that they don't work. And you keep hunting and searching. And in my podcast with Hallie Rose, which released either a week or two ago before this, she talks about how she has everything she wants now. So everything that she, set a goal for herself, she has manifested. All of that stuff has come true, and now she doesn't know what to do. She's actually uncomfortable with having love and success in her life. It sounds crazy, but this happens quite often. And I mention Hallie because it's just, this happened perfectly, right? That we discussed this around the same time that I posted this, that Instagram post. So go listen to that episode so you could just hear someone talk about their own experience with it, and so you can relate in that way. But the fear of feeling good is very real. I've seen this in my own life, and most recently when I have traveled, and because I'm out of my norm, right? I'm out of the place I've been in for months. I'm out of the box that I've been in, the routine. And so, well, I'll just tell you the scene that I was in. So I had this Airbnb. It was in a beautiful spot. It wasn't a treehouse, but it was almost treehouse-esque. It was a 2-story home. They Airbnb both levels. And I was on the top level. It had a deck all around it, these chairs, these lounge chairs, trees all around it, these flowers, these magnolia trees. Everything was in bloom. It smelled so good. The sunshine was coming down. And what was weird when I first got there is that it felt too quiet, that there wasn't noise. It was still in a small city, but it was, away from all that. It was actually kind of secluded. And I want for you is if you live in a city, you'll notice that when you go to a quiet town, right? Or a beach place when there's not as much noise. And a metaphor for this is have you ever noticed when if your air conditioning is blowing air out of the vents, or if you have a fan on, is you get used to the sound. And it's funny, my AC is on in my house right now, and I just noticed it because I'm talking about it, but I didn't notice it before. But you notice it as soon as it turns off. So this is what happens when we have what I mentioned in the post about when we grow up with a constant feeling of stress, of chaos, of suffering on any level, seriously, big, little, anywhere in between, that becomes our normal. We humans are so adaptable in helpful and unhelpful ways, right? Is we really can adapt to anything. That's why I don't want to say are the most, humans are obviously incredible creatures. I love other animals and nature and things like that. But as far as evolution goes, that's why our brains are able to do and what we've been able to discover and create and build and all these things is because of this. We are of our adaptability. And so it's good and bad, right? Because you can get really used to a good thing and you can also get used to a bad thing, like what we're talking about. And so using the fan as the example, just notice when your air comes on or a fan comes on, or just the slight hum of the city you live in, once you go away from it, this feeling of noise, we notice that it's gone, and so we're uncomfortable with it. And this is exactly how the fear works too. So we don't notice it because a lot of the time it's not a terrible thing. It's not it's not unbearable. And again, we are adaptable. It's not an, oh my gosh, my life sucks so bad type of thing. It could be like that, but often what I have seen is it's a successful person that is used to this minimal hum of fear. Listen to that. It's a successful person that is used to this minimal hum of fear. And we get so used to it that when it goes away, we become uncomfortable. And that hum or that resistance, that anxiety, that slight bit of chaos is what we're used to. And it becomes our default setting, and subconsciously we prefer it because that is now our normal. And this happens because somewhere in our childhood, most likely throughout our childhood, there was and still probably is chronic stress anxiety or chaos. Like, we could have even had an amazing childhood. Like with me, like you could have an amazing, loving family and all the support, but we still feel the stress and emotions from our parents and family and the people around us. And there's so much happening subconsciously and energetically that we are unaware of. And a child doesn't know what to do with all of this, and often unconsciously, often not consciously knowing that this is happening. So we learn from other people subconsciously, energetically, by example. Even in an incredibly loving home, there's a lot of stress in the world, and especially for me, I've seen in American life that we learn from them that this is the way, that stress is normal. And we're told that, life isn't daisies and rainbows, no pain, no gain, life is hard, toughen up. These types of statements instill a belief into us that we aren't supposed to feel good. And if we do feel good, then it feels wrong. So we need to reprogram our default setting that feeling good feels right. So I'm just going to repeat that again. This is how you know is if feeling good feels wrong, then you know you have a fear of it. And so we need to reprogram, or maybe not need, but we get to, right? We have the opportunity to reprogram that feeling good feels right and that we deserve it. And that's why we're here on earth, to experience joy, and even pain and the difficult times don't have to be as painful as we're making them. Still not going to be completely pain-free, right? But it can be as we surrender to it and be in that moment and be a witness and aware of what that moment is there for us to learn in our human experience, it can be easier. So before we get to the actual reprogramming, because we are going to get to reprogramming, that's what I now have received feedback from you guys that you guys love, is actually going through the steps of how to reprogram this. So before we get to that, we got to find what your personal baseline is. And I'm not, of course, working one-on-one with you right now. So, of course, you always have the opportunity. If you do, go to my website if you want to work with me one-on-one. But this is still going to get you as personal as we can. So we're going to do some figurative muscle testing for your beliefs. So if you're busy doing something, I suggest that this part, you press pause and come back to it, because we are going to get into some work now. Like, I've provided the context, the overlay, the preface, and now we are going to do some of the work. We're going to do some energy work, some conscious reprogramming, getting to your psychology, your psyche, your brain, all those good things, into your heart, to your soul. So let's get into it. Take a deep breath. Just notice your butt on the seat, your feet on the ground, wherever you are. Just breathe, smell the aromas around you. Rub your fingers together. Feel the heat or the cold, the warmth, the breeze. Wherever you are, feel the sensations around you, the physical sensations to bring you into this moment. Breathe with intention. Close your eyes. Be here right now. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to ask you some questions. Or not ask you some questions, but I'm going to repeat a statement. And when I repeat these statements, I want you to feel, and you'll get an immediate response inside of your body of how true the statement is for you. So grade it on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 is being, that is absolutely true, no doubt in my mind. And 1 is, there's no resemblance of truth in that, absolutely false. So I'm going to read you some statements. You don't need to do anything, just notice of what you feel and what you score it. I deserve to be at peace. I deserve to be at peace. And when you hear this statement, feel it and say it to yourself. I deserve to be at peace. How true is that? 1 through 10. Second statement. I can have everything I want and it won't leave me. I can have everything I want and it will not leave me. Notice your score and feeling. Statement number 3, it's safe to be loved. It is safe and normal. It is expected to be loved. I am loved. How true is that? And the last statement is, I am comfortable when things are going well for me. I am comfortable when things are going well for me. So just keep breathing. Keep breathing and just notice what you scored, and we will come back to these. Now, with your eyes still closed, be in this moment, keep breathing. With your eyes still closed, go back to a time where you remember that you felt unsafe and feeling good. Like it was going to be taken from you, or it was taken from you. A time that it felt wrong to feel good, or you were made to believe that it was wrong to be happy, peaceful, calm, yourself, in flow, successful, creative, any of those good things. Where did it feel, when and where did it feel wrong to be happy, to be yourself, to be in flow, to be successful, creative? Maybe it was a time that you had to accentuate being broken or misbehaving to get attention or love. Somehow you were rewarded for being in a place of negativity. It could be a time where you learned that being unhappy makes others feel better about themselves. So breathe into this, go back to this memory. Now I want you to picture the details of this place, of this memory that you were in. What do you see? What is happening around you? Feel yourself right there in this moment. Look down at your hands as if you were there. Move your toes so you know that you're actually in this moment. And smell what's in the air. Look around you. What is the temperature like? Just notice your surroundings, explore a little bit, and just be in this memory. We are safe to be in this memory. And now, I want you to picture whoever this memory of where you first feel that it's wrong to feel good. I want you to picture who you learned this from. So they're most likely already in this memory, or they could appear there. So whoever you learned this from, go up to them and kindly ask where they learned this from. Because if you're learning it from them, they learned it from somewhere. Ask who or what experience caused them to believe what they do or what they did. And just listen to what they say. Observe their response and put it in your awareness for later. We'll come back to it. Now ask them, this person that you learned this thing from, this belief from, ask them if they would like to believe something different. Ask, and you could be having a conversation. There's no rules to this. This is for you. This is individual. You could be talking about why they believed it, where they learned it from, how hard it was for them, how it wasn't serving them, how it did serve them in some ways. Now ask them if they would like to believe in something different. Ask for their permission. If they want to believe in something more empowering, if they want to be more loving, to feel more loving, to be in the light, to be more joyous, to live their purpose. Ask if they could have all these things, live a more blessed, fulfilling, grateful life, would they want to believe something different? And if they say yes, ask them what they would like to believe instead. And if they said no, that's okay. But if they said yes, ask them what they would like to believe instead of this. Just keep being with them. Observe their response. Observe yourself. Whatever they told you that they would prefer and like to believe, instead of feeling good is wrong, let them know that this belief that they want to believe is a reality, and it's their truth if they claim it as their own. And if they agree, if they say yes, if they want this as their truth, if they agree to this new belief, help them transmute their fear and their belief by simply sending thoughts and energy and even a loving light to instill this new belief into them. Simply just do this with your thoughts, with your heart, with your energy. Imagine and feel this belief transmuting. This old belief is leaving. This new belief is transmuting. It's remembering. It's resurfacing. It's transmuting by fire, by light, into this new, or what was always there, truth. This belief that is really them underneath the lies and fear. And after you can feel that this belief is now instilled into them, it is through their body, they know it in their heart, it's everywhere, it's merged with their DNA and with their soul. Give them a hug or another exchange that you feel comfortable with. It doesn't have to be a hug, whatever you feel comfortable with. But give them a hug and feel them. Maybe this person was yourself, another family member, a teacher, but somehow just exchange goodbyes or see you laters. And now that you have helped heal this direct or indirect lineage of yours, you have an understanding of where they learned this belief. You can now have compassion for them and also for yourself, because you learned from a person who didn't know any better and they were doing the best that they could. And you were also doing the best that you could with the information that you had. And now you have a new understanding that you can also choose a new belief because you saw someone else just choose a belief. You helped them transmute it and instill it. You can remember your truth. The lie is that it's not normal to feel good and live a life full of abundance and joy. Right? The fear of it going away is what makes it go away. The fear of losing it is what causes you to lose love. Ooh, that's good. A fear of losing love is what causes you to lose love. So now you know. Now you know. Now you can remember. So you right now in this moment, at whatever time and space you are in, with your eyes still closed, keep breathing with me. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself what you want to believe. With you in this moment, in this memory, if you could reprogram yourself at this age, whatever time and space, if you could reprogram yourself to believe that anything, absolutely anything is true, what is it? If you could believe and reprogram yourself right now, like a computer, if you could reprogram your mind like a computer and you knew that it would be true for the rest of your life, what would you believe? I want you to say it out loud. Feel it in your heart. What do you want to believe? I want you to ask like you've never asked before. Ask like you know it will come true. If there was 100% certainty that you know that you could believe this, what would you ask? And whatever doubt or resistance that comes up is completely normal. Simply acknowledge it and just let it be. It's okay. It's normal. And with your eyes still closed, with this new belief that you have chose, imagine a world where this is your foundation. Imagine a world where this is your truth, that you absolutely have, that you know with certainty. With the excitement, the wonder, and imagination of a child, what is possible with this new belief? What does your life look like? How are you able to feel? How are you able to live? Take a few moments and get specific. Imagine your life where this truth is your foundation. What can you conceive? What is possible? If this is your truth, what does your life look like? Who are you surrounded by? Who are you surrounded with? How are you feeling? Where are you? Go to this place in your imagination. Like this place that you just created, that you're dreaming of. Go there. Be there. Look around and observe your surroundings. So this place that you just created with this new belief, be here. What life did you just create? What moment are you in this life? Go to this time, in this time and place. Go to this moment and just observe your surroundings. Where are you? What do you see? What do you smell? What do you hear? What are you doing? What are you observing? What's happening? And just look around. And then look for something that stands out to you. It could be something that's out of place. Maybe there's a light around it. Maybe it's just something that just caught your attention. Whatever object you see here that stands out to you, for whatever reason, it could be simple and plain as well. It could just stand out to you for whatever reason. You feel called out. You feel called out by it. You feel called to it. Whatever object you see, go towards it, and I want you to pick it up. Hold it in your hands or in your arms, however big it is. Or if it's unable to be picked up, go toward it and just be with it. It could have a significant meaning to you from the past, the future, or it might not. Maybe not a significance that you know of just yet, but it will. And as you're holding this object or focusing on it, in the same way you helped the person that transmute their own belief, the person in this childhood memory, right? How you help them transmute their belief by sending thoughts, energy, and a loving light. I want you to do the same with this object. So transfer this belief into this object. With your thoughts, with your energy, I want you to fill this object up and imagine that this object is downloading it from your mind into its own intelligence. Imagine it's like upgrading. It's updating its consciousness. It's filling, this object is filling and maybe lighting up. It could be glowing or something else, sparkling. But keep sending and feeling it until the download is complete. Fill this object with his new belief and its own intelligence. Keep sending, keep filling. And now, take this object that is filled and full of this light, of this love, of your belief, of this truth. I I want you to put it in your pocket or put it in your bag or carry it in whichever magical way. You could magically condense it. It could fold magically. It doesn't, and if it doesn't want to be taken, if it wants to stay where it is, I want you to remember the coordinates where you can access it at any time. So if it doesn't want to be taken with for the ride or quote unquote owned by you, you can leave it here and just remember the coordinates, like the actual longitude, latitude, or just whatever coordinates that come to mind. Know that you can always return here. You can come back here. And it's like a childhood moment. Like when you have a blankie as a kid or a favorite toy that used to bring you comfort. Just thinking of it will make you smile. So you don't have to have it with you, but just one of those nostalgic moments, you know it's there and the memories that it has, and it can bring you back there. You don't need to hold it physically, but the memory of it is still there. So if you're not bringing it with you, let this be a physical anchor that you can revisit when you need a reminder. You can come back to this object, this place, this thing, or if you have it with you, you can take it out of your pocket. You can wear it. You can carry it with you. You could maybe put it on a chain and wear it like a necklace. It might already even be a piece of jewelry. Whatever object you saw and chose is now a part of you and your collection, meaning that you can recall its intelligence at any time. You can call on its power when you need extra guidance. So, this object that now has this belief, has this energy in it, you can call on its power to help you when you need it. Take some deep breaths. Just let any feelings or thoughts flow through. Any downloads or activations continue to occur as you're in this space. And when you're ready, open your eyes slowly, or you can just keep listening to me with your eyes closed. So whether what we just went through together is real or metaphorical to you, it doesn't matter. Whatever you believe is the truth, you have now made a new neurological connection inside of your brain, and what I believe in your soul, and in a different plane. You've created a new pathway of awareness for you to practice from. So I often hear about people reverting back to old habits after retreats or coaching courses. Is, man, I learned this thing, it was amazing, I had this breakthrough, but now I'm back to my old ways. It's because that is your normal, right? You spent so much time developing that normal, that groove in your brain, in your soul, that you have to practice choosing this new belief again and again, over and over. Just like you formed the unhelpful belief with lots of repetition, it works the same way here. However, if you can think of the breakthrough you just had or can have on a podcast with me in this one or previous episodes or future ones, whatever, working with me indirectly or generally, just think how powerful you are. Think of like you experience breakthroughs because you are ready for them. So I want you to remember this object. I want you to remember this moment, remember this memory, this new belief that you chose. Psychologically and energetically, you have already chose that. You know it's true. You know it's possible. That's why you imagined it. You dreamed it. You thought of it. It's real. Like, you can only think of things that are real. Like, how else would you be able to think of it if you haven't seen it or felt it already? It's easier than you think it is, and you experience breakthroughs because you are ready for them. And to finalize this breakthrough, this new belief that you've created, I advise to not just go do your normal things today. Speaking of, right, is like the reason why retreats and things like that and cool coaching programs, mentorships, offerings, courses, they tweak, they break, they shift that habit, right? So you've already done that today, but we've done this energetically and psychologically or logically. So we need to embody it. So I encourage you to break the loop by doing something out of your normal to cement this new paradigm, to embody it, to integrate it into your actual physical body. So it's best to do something physical that represents this new belief or your truth, this thing that you've remembered. So if we're talking about feeling good, it could be anything you want, but I'll give you some suggestions. It could be just by doing something that makes you feel really good. Like, what is the favorite thing that you kind of feel guilty for doing? How can you go do that with no guilt, no resentment, and just friggin' do it and be in it? So it could be go getting a massage, right? Because that's literally like massaging into your body, eating ice cream. It could be working out. It could be having a partner or friend giving you a head rub. It could be sex for you. Honestly, that's a big one, right? We have a lot of fear of just even enjoying that, like any type of pleasure even. So how could you do that with the most intention? Like whatever you feel called to do it with extreme intention. Just be so there, be so present and in the moment that you feel your new belief merging with you during the action. Like it's going to be so cool that with this new belief, how can you go enjoy feeling good today? Like that it's safe to feel all those good things. That it's your normal, that it's your birthright. And just be so in that moment that you feel it, like it's merging with you and embodying with you during this new action. And you just feel how deserving you are of peace, pleasure, success, joy, and just plain feeling good. And when you're in these moments or moment, treat it like a ceremony and treat it as an initiation to embody this new truth. Like really like treat that as a ceremony, that like a sacred space to embody and integrate this truth into you. Woo. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. This was fun and different, and I love going here with you guys. And if you feel called to go deeper and work with me one-on-one for a one-time session or mentoring, visit my website. That's in the show notes, or just go to feeling-free.com. I would love to work with you through this belief or any other fear-based belief structure that you have. You know, I'm your guy. And it's an honor to be a reflection of your awakening, your healing journey, your remembering, your freedom, your sovereignty, whatever you want to call it, just pure bliss and love. It's an honor to be a part of that with you. So when you're ready, when you feel that calling, that time is right, I'm happy to be of service. And so just go to feeling-free.com to look over all my offerings. And I can't wait to meet some of you and hopefully all of you one day. And thank you so much for listening, for you to go through this exercise and this visualization, this energy work. Shows a lot about you. And also I'm trying this new thing out where for whatever reason, if you don't feel called to like an entire session or an entire mentorship, or it's out of your price range right now, it's 11:11 a.m. I'm recording this. I just had to give a side note, meant to be. So 11:11, whoever is still listening to this is meant for you. But I'm doing a new thing with this new platform where you can actually ask me specific questions and I'll respond to you in a 3 to 4 minute video. So for whatever reason, if you just feel most safe and comfortable with not getting on a Zoom call for 90 minutes or, you know, a mentorship setting for hours and each week and like going deep in this way, you can dip your toe in you can dip your toe in to get a start by just asking me a specific question. So all you do is type and you just ask me with your specific question and I will get back to you. So right now it's $33. It might be a little bit more than that as we try it out. I haven't done it yet. So if you feel called to that link is also in the show notes. It's with a platform called Hey Hero. So look for that link in the description, in the show notes. If you just want some quick advice, or you feel more comfortable with this way, not being seen in that way yet, whatever it is, it's a cool new way to work with me. So all of the links, all the things are in the show notes. Upcoming retreats. You can go to my website for freebies. I know people like the meditations. You can go download a meditation for free on the website, a manifestation guide. So anyway, I appreciate you being here. It shows a lot that you are listening. I love you. I believe in you. I'll see you soon.